technology trend research with Donghung Shin. All right, let's dive right in because we're in the middle of a truly massive shift in how we all find information online. The entire game is changing right now, all because of generative AI. So if you create content, if you publish anything online, you've got to listen up. The old playbook? It's obsolete. We're going to walk through a completely new strategy, one that's based on some deep research into how these new AI engines actually, well, how they think.
You know how search has always worked, right? For years, you'd ask a question and you'd get back a list of doors, those classic blue links. It was on you to open those doors and figure out which one had the answer. But generative AI search, it doesn't give you a list of doors. It builds the whole house for you. It pulls information from all over, synthesizes it, and just hands you a finished answer, complete with little citations. This one change, it's like an earthquake for anyone putting content on the web.
And this massive shift? It's exactly why so many creators, so many businesses are asking themselves, hey, where did my traffic go? You might be seeing your website's visibility just tank. And the reason is both simple and, honestly, pretty brutal. The rule book that we all played by for the last 20 years, it's gone. And playing by those old rules isn't just a waste of time. It's actively hurting your ability to get seen.
And we've got the data to prove it. Look, there is a very steep penalty for sticking to old habits. Let's take a classic SEO tactic, keyword stuffing. You know, just cramming your page with keywords, trying to game the system. In this new AI world, that doesn't just fail. The data shows it will literally torpedo your content. We're talking about a nearly 18% drop in visibility. The AI sees it, it knows it's unnatural, and it punishes you for it.
Okay, so if the old rules are broken, what are the new ones? This is where we get to the good stuff. We pivot from the problem to the actual solution. There's a new playbook emerging for this AI-first world, and it's called Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO. And let me be clear, this is not just a little update to SEO. No. This is a total rethinking of how we create valuable content.
So what is GEO really? Think of it like this. It's a strategy for making your content so good, so verifiable, and so trustworthy that the AI wants to use it as a source for its own answers. This is a huge shift in thinking. You're not trying to be number one on a list of links anymore. You're trying to become a foundational piece of knowledge that the AI itself points to and says, this is a reliable source. It's about being an authority, not just a search result.
That all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? This is where it gets really practical and really interesting. Through a whole series of experiments, we've been able to identify specific, data-proven strategies that directly boost your visibility in these new generative search results. So let's look at what the numbers say actually works.
First up, authority. The data shows a nearly 28% jump in visibility just by adding direct quotes from credible experts into your content. So why does this work? It's because generative AI is absolutely obsessed with trust. When you quote a known expert, you're essentially borrowing their credibility and putting it right into your article. It's a massive trust signal for the AI.
Next on the list, proof. Backing up your claims with hard numbers, with specific, verifiable statistics, that gives you an almost 26% boost. Think about it. A vague claim like "a lot of people believe" is basically worthless to an AI. But a statement like "a recent study found that 73% of users," now that is concrete. It's verifiable. It's exactly the kind of factual building block an AI is designed to look for.
And this table just lays it all out, clear as day. The winning strategies are all about adding these layers of proof and quality. You've got quotes, you've got stats, even just improving how clearly you write, what the research calls fluency, delivers a huge gain. And then bam, right there at the bottom, you see the big loser, keyword stuffing, deep in the red. The message from the AI could not be clearer. Show me proof, not tricks. And all of this leads to what is, frankly, the single most profound finding from all this research. For decades, a site's domain authority, how old it is, how many other sites link to it, that was king. Well, that era is officially over. Generative AI cares way more about the verifiable quality of the content on the page itself than it does about the history of the website. And that That changes everything.
And this great equalizer effect is just stunning when you see it play out. In one of the experiments, a top-ranked site, a big player that was just coasting on its old authority, it actually lost over 30% of its visibility in the AI's answer. But a lower-ranked site, one that would have been buried on page 5 in the old world, saw its visibility skyrocket by over 115% simply by applying these GEO principles. For the first time in a long time, real quality can actually beat old school authority.
So, you're probably thinking, okay, I'm in. How do I do this? How do I capture this opportunity? Well, the great news is you don't have to burn everything down and start from scratch. The research actually gives us a really clear roadmap to help you transition from the old SEO mindset to this new GEO world, and you can start making these changes today. It boils down to a pretty straightforward 3-step process. First, fortify what you already have. Just go back through your existing content and inject those high-impact elements we talked about. The specific stats, the expert quotes, that's a quick win. Second, refine and cite. Work on making your writing clearer and start adding citations and sources for your claims. Make your work undeniably trustworthy. And third, combine. Start layering these strategies. For example, great fluency plus solid statistics, that creates a powerful combo that makes your content almost indispensable to the AI.
Okay, so let's just zoom out for a second and think about the big picture. Because this isn't just some short-term trend. This is the new reality of how knowledge is going to be created and shared. And that new reality leaves every single person who creates content with one final and I think really crucial question they need to ask themselves.
In a world where the AI provides the final answer, is your content a trusted source that actually informs the conversation? Or is it just another voice lost in the noise of the training data? The choice, now more than ever, is yours.